I pull another when it's no cap. You rip the wax and it's all bad. Your rookies wasn't rated, got you all mad. I ripped the wax and I'm feeling good. I got the box for the low, I got everybody copping out in the hood. Invest in rare product and you doing good. I got them packs and I'm talking wax. I pull an auto when it's no cap. You rip the wax and it's all bad. Your rookies wasn't ready, got you all mad. I rip when I'm feeling good. Got the box for the low, I need the jug. Got everybody copping out in the hood. Investing rare product and you doing good. Who they got wax on the time machine. Flip cars, wax cars, and student dean. And I just found a glitch. It's a prism green. Cause we big hits like I'm pool kings. Hold on. Let me rip first. Cause I haul big loads like I'm Cuz Kurt. Hold your out of service cause he don't work. Out of there. Hey, I just hit again. Ain't no sleeves in the party. We can't load with them. I can name 20 products I'm invested in. Keep boxes sealed up like open gems. You investing? But you keep slipping. Think I need a new pack. It keep ripping. Eyes locked on the paper. I got op vision. They say the hype died down, but we keep flipping. So, ain't no ripping with the set donkey packs round. Just pull the A. I need a Kobe now. Every time the phone is flipping time. Peter got packed. Amazon. See hollow ops because my vision fine. New name for silver prisms. Valentine. Who know that wax time machine? Wax cars and student dean. And I just found a glitch. It's a prism game because I big hits like I'm pool kings. Hold on. Let me rip first. Drive through them packs, fingertips hurt. Cause I hold big lows like I'm Cuz Kurt. Heard you connect out of service cause he don't work. Out of there. And I'm talking wax. I pulled an auto and there's no cap. I ripped the wax and it's all bad. Your rookies wasn't rated, got you all mad. I ripped the wax and I'm feeling good. For the low, I need the jug. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to Off the Checklist. Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everyone had a swell day. Back at it like a wax habit. Today we have a special guest, man. This is someone that I'm not quite sure how many of you know who this individual is, but this individual obviously is inspiring and amazing in my eyes and always has been. I haven't known this gentleman my whole life, but I've known him enough. I've seen him enough. I've been around him enough. I've watched him enough. I know enough about him to not know enough about him to bring him on this platform and have him share a little bit about what he does, not only in the hobby but outside the hobby. Excuse me. We all have several passions, and this man makes the best out of his time in many ways, and I'll let him explain. But without further ado, we're gonna bring on my guy, Franceyez. We live with it, man.
Hey,
We live with it, man. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Can you hear me? Is it audio checking in?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
and I don't even need these, then.
Hey, man. So, bruh, first and foremost, thank you for making the time to be here, bruh. I know you have your hands in a lot. You're busy with a host of many different things, which we're gonna get into, which I want to dive into, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody who's watching, who will be watching. Bro, I ain't talked to you in a minute. How you doing, bro? What's happening?
Honestly, I'm doing good, man. Coming off the new year, we coming on strong. I'm dealing with, a lot of, things going on with it, a lot of different losses, a lot of, different peers and things like that. And, a couple of mentors, we done lost, but we holding on strong. Working at this facility over here in Oakland, First Christian Church of Oakland. It's also a local nonprofit called the Oakland Peace Center, which I run. I'm the facilities coordinator there. So, I just got done doing some roofing, patching some roofing up, some some mission clay tiles and all of that. So, it's a lot of work going on, but, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be a support, and thanks for having me.
Man, right on, bro. Right on. And see, already off the bat, that was your first sentence or first few sentences, and you already got a little piece of what you're getting into and what you do. And it's a whole lot more when we start to unravel this. Bro, the first question we like to bring people when we bring people on, the first question we like to ask them is about trading cards. And you're familiar with trading cards, you know what I mean? Back when we first met, I didn't know you were familiar with trading cards. You know, back then I was still a closet collector. I wasn't out in the open with it, but I still did it. You feel me? But you know, we probably got back into it heavy around the same time last year and a half ago, or started digging through our old stuff, going here and there. You know what I'm saying? Sending each other things here and there. So trading cards, right? If you had to pick one person, you talked about mentors, bro. You talked about lost people that's not here, right? People who have made an impact, if not on your life, other people's lives, right? So we feel them when they gone, but they leave something with us that we able to carry on, right? I want you to think about somebody that's here in some shape, form, or fashion, whether spiritually or in the physical form, right? I want you to think about somebody that you can put on a trading card today. And I don't want you to feel like you leaving anybody out, because next time we rap, you could pick somebody else to give your flowers to. And throughout this show, we probably gonna give flowers to a host of different people. You feel me? But for this question, I want you to pick one person, or maybe it's a group of people who you would give a trading card to, somebody or some people who impacted you, who made a difference in your life. Who would you give a trading card to, and why?
I would definitely give a trading card out to my parents. My mother is the one that actually started me off in the trading card game in
What
the late
moms
80s.
did?
Yeah, in the late
Okay.
80s. You know what I'm saying? My mom got me my first pack of cards from Safeway back when they used to have cards in the grocery store.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? And I would definitely put, Pops. I will put my Pops, put him on some trading cards.
Yeah.
I think that, he's been very influential in my life, always been a
Yeah.
big support, but, definitely the parents, grandparents, they would all have like how you do the wax history. It would be like
Yeah.
a lineage, you know what I mean? And, you know, the family,
Yeah.
they would all have a card all the way to my son, they would all have their own card, the whole family.
Man, the whole lineage are all one-on-ones. And that's beautiful, bro. So let's start there. Let's start with the cards, and let's start with moms. So that's a good starting spot. So when moms gave you your first pack of cards in Safeway, can you give us a little background? What city was this in? Around how old were you? And what feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like what was childhood like? And then what feelings and emotions came to you either with your first pack or when you were opening cards?
All right, so I got my first pack when I was 3 or 4 years old from Safe. Well, there was a Safeway by Oakland Tech. It's called Temescal. So there was a
Yeah, I remember
Safeway
that one.
there.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
I got my first pack. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Okay.
it was baseball, and the topper of that pack that I got, I think it was like 89 Donruss or something like that. But it was Chili
Yeah.
Davis on the
Okay.
Angels. Him,
Okay.
Willie McGee, them cats.
Okay.
So that was in the first pack. And then,
Okay.
a couple years later, when I got into basketball, it was like 91, 92. And it was like Irvin Johnson, the center, Abdalanabli, John Starks. That was in that pack. And then I started collecting basketball from there. But
Who was the
19,
second name? Hold on. Name that pack again.
it was
The last
the
name.
91, 92 Fleer.
Yeah.
And it was the rookies was like Irvin Johnson, the
Uh-huh.
center,
Uh-huh.
trash
The
can
center.
man. And then he had Ala Abdalanabli.
See,
He
that's
was
the
a
name.
small
Who?
forward.
Small
Ala
forward.
Abdalanabli.
See, that's man. And you remember this.
Yeah, I got to, man. It was just so influential, it was that moment in time. And I got that pack from Walgreens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then it had who else was in that pack? Ronnie Cycli. I think he was on the Heat at that time. Ronnie Cycli and a couple of others. John Starks on the Knicks. And it was like probably like eight cards in a pack then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And then,
what was the feeling
she
like?
showed me how to get the jumbos. It was those big jumbo packs with the 15 in the Fleer. Remember those stick packs?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, then they
yeah.
had like 50 packs, but it was the same price back then, like $3.99. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I remember that. I'll never forget it.
And what was the kind of feelings and emotions that you can remember when you were opening up those packs?
Well, one, it was just a different looks of the cards. Like the movements that the players were making. Like I was always thinking, who took those angles? Who took those photos? Was it a camera, court side, or was it a fan? Like who was taking these photos? Because it never showed or listed who the photographer was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it was the stats. So I would, compare the stats, put them together and see, who's the better player out of the bunch. And then, that's how it starts. You know what I'm saying? You're looking like, all right, who's averaging 20 points a game? All right, that goes in the 20 game pile. That's the all-stars. Who's scoring 10 points? That's going into the lower deck. And then you start going from there and then seeing who's better than who and who's the all-star athlete. And then you start comparing them down the line like that. That's how it was for me.
Before we had the ratings on the video games, we had them on the back of the cards, huh?
Yeah, we that, and we had the little electronic game where you hit the button and they move around on the football field and everything. Yeah. That was the game for us.
And you made a good point though, bro. Like you said it. I didn't even have to tell you. You said you actually used to look at the cards and wonder about, what angle was the photographer thinking, like, behind the camera. Did you have a love for being behind the camera when you were young too? Like, was photography something that you liked when you were younger?
Yeah, it was a dream at that point in time. And then again, mom's got me my first camera, got me a Canon in like 1992. So I had my first camera around 92. And I would, take my own little photo trading cards. And then, we were lucky enough in our age where they actually gave us a chance to be on our own trading cards physically at school. Right. So like when class pictures and stuff came around and we got to actually introduce our own trading cards, and they'd ask us, right, what do you want to be? Do you want to be an artist or this and that? And I always chose artist, period. And they asked me what kind. I said, just in general, just a general artist, period.
Yeah. Dang, that's dope, bro. That's dope. So I'm gonna give people some more insight about Franceyez the Man. So you talked about the photography and looking. I'm pretty sure all the angles where the players was doing all them crazy moves and the up and unders, and they like 45 inches off the floor, and you like, wow. So y'all, some of y'all may never get to see this man play basketball. Franceyez can do every single one of those poses he used to admire as a child. If you see him on the basketball court, you would. I was ready for him to say, I used to see the poses and practice them, because I'm like, oh, that's where you got him from. Okay, but you hit me with the photography. Like, I didn't even know about that at that age. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure about the athletic ability, the hang time, and just the athletic ability and the passion. Like, you would play basketball whether it was for money, not for money. You collect cards whether it's for money, not. Everything you do is like the same. It's like you would do it just like because it makes you happy. And we're gonna get into a lot of that, right? But we touched on photography. I didn't know that was big for you, because man, I make that big. You can go back on other one of these shows and hear me, because if you go into a classroom and you work with kids, bro, and you work with it could be a group of kids that all play basketball, right? All of them may not play basketball when they get to high school. You know what I'm saying? Or especially in the classroom, they all might not want to play basketball or want to play sports. But guess what? You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? There's so many other things. It's not just the camera. There's so many other things you can do, right? But without that cameraman or camera woman, we don't look good. Nobody's there to show the proof, you know what I'm saying, what we were doing, and tell that story in that way. So that's big, because that's one of the reasons I knew it was a home run, a grand slam to bring you on. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew when I'd say something, you take it somewhere I wouldn't even know. But bruh, talk about, because you're an athlete, and we're gonna talk about a lot of the other things you do, bro. I don't even know if we could cover it all, and you know what I'm saying, in an hour, a couple hours or whatnot. But talk about how important art, photography, cards, and sports were to you as a child.
Well, it was very influential in my life, especially art. It gave me something to have a balance. You know what I mean? Like, after a long day, doing your work. Then back then, we had practice 6 o'clock in the morning. Got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, run, go to practice. You got 2-a-days, shit like that. Well, excuse me, stuff like that. And then, having that art, was a good balance for me to kind of like focus on whatever my reflection was going to be, So it started off like I would be designing clothing and stuff like that, writing small glyphs, coming up with design, stuff like that, that turned into, Photoshop later down the line. But we didn't have Photoshop then. All we had was something called Microsoft Paint. So like I would draw it on paper, and then I would try to replicate that in Microsoft Paint and see if I could do the same thing there. And then I would try to take it to like a vinyl or something else to try to make a cut to design something to place it on like a shirt or something like that. So I got my first vinyl cuts was just my name. You know, it's just my name, just straight in a straight horizontal row, Franceyez down the line. Um, and I still have that shirt. It's beat up,
uh,
but I
but you
still
still
got
got
that
it
name.
though. And
Yeah,
that was your
yeah.
first shirt. And what about sports and cards? And you like, how big was that for you? How early did you start playing sports?
Started playing sports at the earliest, probably like 3, 4 years old playing sports. You know what I mean? And then my next door neighbor, he had a one of those Michael Jordan Jam basketball courts. So probably like 6, 7 years old, we was out every single day on a weekend or after school playing in the middle of the street. We would take the basketball courts because it was those adjustable ones that only go up to like 6 feet.
Yeah.
We would take them, sit them on recycling bins, bro, and we would play one-on-one games. And then, folks from down the block and stuff like that would come. But even before that, the first basketball court was, remember the clotheslines?
Yeah.
Clothesline on a fence. You would cut a piece of the clothesline off and you would wrap it around the top of the gate, which is about 8 or 9 feet high. And that was the first basketball court.
Was a
Then it
line.
was milk crates after that, cutting out the bottom of a milk crate,
We
putting it
got
on a
that one.
wall or something else. And
Yeah.
in the house, it was cutting out a box and gluing it to the wall
Yeah.
and then placing tags in it. And that was a court at the house because, I
Yeah.
couldn't afford one,
Not even in our
myself.
food.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how it
But you made
started.
it. You made it though. We had I forgot who was on talking about they was building ramps in the middle of the street off speed bumps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Speed bumps, building ramps for their skateboards or whatnot, just because they couldn't go to the park. They didn't know where else to play. They want a ramp. They built one. I forgot what else he said they were building. Putting together headphones. And when he had started rapping or something, he said, man, my partner had some headphones they taped together and we wired it together and figured out how to make it work. Like, man, when you don't have, you do more with less. You really do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
makeshift, man.
yeah, for real, for real. So when did you always collect cards, bro? Like you said, you started young. Mom's put them in your hands. Was there ever a time where you had to put them down for a while and start doing something else?
Well, I got into, really moving around and playing a lot of sports, playing a lot of basketball, like I'm saying, 6, 7, 8 and up. So from
Yeah,
there, it was probably around a year and a half in between there where I didn't get to collect. So
yeah,
probably I picked back up around 10, 11. So it was like in between 8 and 9, I really didn't get to collect that much. But back
yeah.
at 10 and 11, I was back collecting heavy again. And we were lucky to have a spot down at the bottom of the hill called a Collector's Corner. And I
Collector's
used to
Corner.
collect. I
Talk
used to
about it.
collect
Yeah,
collect there. That was my spot, man.
yeah,
I go there
yeah,
and get the grab bags, the hobby grab bags for $1.
yeah.
And yeah, so I didn't really have many times where I didn't get to collect. I was fortunate to stay with it.
Yeah, man, I remember Collector's Corner. Me and Rio used to be there every day after school on weekends. That was the spot. I probably got, if I have 100 Spree World cards from back in the day, I probably got 90 of them from Collector's Corner for sure. And then remember, we could shoot right across the street to Dr. Comics and Mr. Games if we wanted some
Yeah.
comic books or things. You feel me? Talk about growing up in Oakland. What was that like?
Oh man, so much history, so much culture, so much diversity. It's just a huge melting pot of different people, different ethnic groups, different religions. Man, it really gives you a chance if you care enough to learn different people, learn their background, and really have a rich cultural history. And like from where like your family's from, from a
Right,
different country. You know what I mean?
right,
But in Oakland, you know what I'm saying? So
right, right.
it's just a joy, like in my classroom, coming all the way up through elementary, middle school, all of that stuff. There was always Asians, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, all kind of different groups, and we would study and learn from each other as to, be in opposition of each other. We would try to learn and pick something from each other. So all the way to now, I feel like that's very important to learn other ethnical backgrounds, study different religions if you can, or if you're open to, you know what I'm saying, if you're receptive to that, and just be one with the people. You know what I mean? I think that's very important. Yeah,
Man, I feel
Oakland,
like
Oakland is that.
man, I feel like you answered a question already that I was gonna ask. I always have notes, or I try to have notes just in case I stumble and I need, you know what I'm saying, a refresher. But bruh, if you look at any one of your pages, right? Either the AMG7, which we're gonna get into, right? Or your main page, bro, you share a lot of other people and a lot of Oakland just as much, if not more, than you share yourself, bro. Why is that important to you, and who are these others? Give some people some flowers, and talk about AMG and what that means. And because you said you were, man, you're a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, for this I gotta, so just because I didn't give you the proper introduction, just getting, you're gonna have to define some stuff for me. But hype beast, designer, vendor, consultant. You got apparel, memorabilia, collectibles, cards. That's not it though. The man does farming, gardening. He's an architect. He's an engineer. He's an artist. He's a, like, there's so much more. Basketball athlete. He's a coach. He's a trainer. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He's a philanthropist. Man, and I'm still not doing you justice, bro. I'm still not doing you justice. But talk about, because you were talking about Oakland and how it's so diverse, and that's why you appreciate it, and you've learned to appreciate the diversity, right? Because that's the same thing we talk about, bro. And we ride on that. When one person comes into the community, our culture changes and we adapt that. You know what I mean? We learn about that and we adapt that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you have to adapt to us. No, we have to adapt to you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that we've been here. We're going to adapt to you at the same time. You know what I mean? That's how the community and culture works. So that's what you just mentioned. Why do you share so much of these other people on your page and these other images of Oakland and the things y'all do and the smiles? Why is that important to you? Why not just show yourself?
Well, because if I just show myself, then I feel like that would be more egotistical as to being selfless. I'd rather be selfish than selfish. You know what I'm saying? And really show the people that paved the way for me. I wouldn't be who I am if people didn't pave the way for me and sacrifice their own time and their own talents to teach me and for me to adhere to them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where it comes from. It comes from that, from having a backbone, and having a rich culture and having people there to support me every step of the way. Like those same different ethnical groups and backgrounds were the same people that were teaching me how to be me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where it comes from, being selfless instead of being selfish.
Okay.
Because what would I be if I'm just, this is me, 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 and then the people that paved the way for me, they ain't getting no respect or nothing, no support. But they're asking me for it daily. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be fair. You
Right.
know, in my own opinion, I should
Right.
say.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And talk about AMG, bro. What is AMG 7? Can you dive into that a little bit? Because I've been seeing that image. For me, that's one of the images, not just because I know you, but it's been around Oakland for a while. It's been around. You know what I mean? So can you tell us a little bit about this? Because people are gonna start, they're gonna go look to find out who you are, what it is, you know what I mean? So it'd be good to hear the speech from you.
Well, it started off in the year 2000, while I was creating a studio project, that we ended up getting a tour with in Reno. And they asked me to come up with my own record label basically to start out. So I started out in media doing the photography thing. And then stands for Amtrax, which means like I am the music. And then media, trying to create a different medium for people. And then global, like we want to do it on a global scale. So that's what
Okay.
the AMG stands for. It's for Amtrax Media Global. And then after that, we have the 7, which is, for godliness as well as 7 days a week, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how we came up with that. So it's been 22 years now. Yeah, time's going by, but yeah, it's been 20 years. Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep. I'm happy you said that. Last night or the night before last, I believe Kyrie Irving came back to the Brooklyn Nets, It's Brooklyn. It's not New Jersey. Is it New Jersey or Brooklyn? I'd be so lost. I
It's
don't remember.
Brooklyn now. It was New
Okay,
Jersey,
yeah,
but
it was New
Hope.
Jersey, but I don't be knowing if they go back or not. I don't be paying attention like that. So the Brooklyn Nets, he came back, and after the game, during his post game interview, I don't know if you saw it, but KD walked by him and said, "Man, good game, bro. Whatever, yada yada yada." And Kyrie said, "Man, thank you, God." And then you see KD's number 7. So it's just I had made a post about that earlier for people who know if they know, and then it just so happened that you was on here today, so everything lined up, and you know how the number talk be and all that stuff, but everything just lined up perfectly for you. It was just magic when I saw that last night. I'm like, that's crazy. I got 7 on the show tomorrow. like it's happening. Oh man. All right, bro. So let's dive into some of these other things that you do as well too, bro, because it's a lot, bro. What other kind of things are you passionate about?
Well, I'm passionate about teaching the people. I do coaching on the side, doing some training. I was coaching the Mongolian basketball team for 3.5, going on 4 years now. But we had to, shut down for a portion of COVID. So now those offices are in San Ramon. We just had a award ceremony where they gave me an award last month in December for that. Just really teaching, training, working with the people wherever they are, working with different organizations and local nonprofits. For a while there, I was doing a lot of activist work, doing a lot of performances and different tours and stuff like that, all the way to where we got to go to DC when Obama was in office and stuff like that. And we did the inauguration and all of that. So that's been very influential for me. That, short term, consultations and stuff like that. Just trying to help people since I'm working in a church. I'm always getting asked to help people wherever they are, give them words of encouragement, things like that. And
Right.
it's just so much that you can do in 24 hours. I try to maximize my effort and my output, just by just delivering whatever it is that people need me to deliver for them. You know what I'm saying? If they need me to give them some words to, help them, get on their business or get on whatever their hype is, I do that. If I'm asked to go out and play a 5-on-5 basketball game, I'm gonna
You
go
gonna
out
do
and
that
do
for
that
sure.
and try to, be my best at that.
You're gonna do that for
You know what I mean?
sure.
So
Yeah. So you do all of this, bro. You do all of this, and then you still find time or make time to collect. Every now and then you always sending me some pictures, you know what I'm saying, and some stuff you just snatched up or that you found in the cut or something like that. Like what about collecting today still makes you smile, and what kind of feelings and emotions do you feel collecting today?
Well, honestly, I get a sense of jubilation every time I see like those angles, a different angle, a different type of card, a different color wave. I like how they still use prism, even though it ain't prism. You know what I'm saying? I like how they still utilize some of the old styles that I came up with. You know what I'm saying? I'm really grateful for that, and it's good.
Ah,
It's good to see, even though a lot of stuff got picked up by Panini. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see that some of those organizations, some of those companies are still thriving, like a Donruss, Tops through Bowman. You know what I mean? That's really what keeps me still engaged, is knowing that some of that old stuff is still there.
yeah,
Really.
you can still go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always feel like, why don't change it if it's not broke? You know what I mean? It's kind of like what's happening now. Fanatics just bought Tops. They're not going to change the name. That'd be foolish. And you got to start all over. You ain't gonna hire no. You know what I mean? The same thing happened in hop history since it started. When one person is acquired by another, we keeping that name. You just under us now because you was already making money under that name. People are familiar with that name. You're already a household name. We're not going to change anything about you other than the checks. The money comes here now, and then we'll give it to you. You know what I mean? That's the only difference. So I appreciate about that too. I feel that's a huge reason why a lot of us stay in it. I know for me, like you said, the prism with an S and the prism, you know what I mean? It took me a while to put 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean? But I remember the prisms from back in our day. I remember them joints for show, for show. And then, but I'm not gonna lie, when I first started ripping Prism back in like 2013, 2014, might have been my first time opening it. I think it was 2014. 2014 was my first time opening a pack of Prism with the Z, Panini Prism. I had totally forgot about Pacific Prism. Like it was for 3, 4, 5 years, I totally forgot that existed. It wasn't in my realm. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I wanted to actually started learning more about the hobby and not just the cards and stuff and putting two and two together. And I was asking questions maybe around 2017, 2018, 2016. I say 2016, 17 maybe. Then I started asking questions and doing research like, oh, yeah, that is right. But why? Oh, and you know what's a dope story too, bro, about Prism that I got to share with you because it's you. So the guy who started Prism, who made Prism, Michael J. Kramer, he was a photographer first, bro. I'm pretty sure if from what I've read, I've seen him on a couple shows recently, but I need to watch more. But from what I believe to be true, he had the same passion for photography as you did. From what I've read about him, he got a job with the NFL when he was real young. And I think even before that, he was taking pictures of athletes and things, but he got a job with the NFL when he was young. And his father used to drive him up and down the coast, the Pacific coast, right, to these games. And he would take pictures for a newspaper, I believe, or for some company or something. And then he would also have, pictures for himself. And I believe he would make cards. Like you said, you would make cards out of your pictures. You know what I mean? Like, that's dope, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's raw to have talking to somebody who actually, like, you named so much things about the cards. You didn't name value not one time yet. You talked about angles, feeling, look, parallels, colors. You talked about some stuff that people hate in the hobby. Like parallels, there's too many of them. You're like, man, no, I need my colors. Give me my variety. I want all 36 flavors of them Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, it gives you something to look forward to, really honestly. Like, it's not just bland, like one of my old art directors used to tell me, it's not just bland, like, you know what I mean, unseasoned food. You know what I'm saying? It's different, it's abstract. So I feel like that's very important for the hobby.
See, I needed that. You humbled me, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's not that I don't know, but sometimes I forget. I always give the flowers to the photographers. You know what I mean? Because I always say they're equally as important. You know what I mean? Everybody who's behind the design and creation of the card and of the piece I feel is as important and can add just as much value as the actual athlete. That's what I try and teach because it's more relatable and more people can cling on to that. You know what I mean? Bro, it's just, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's raw that you like to take, like, you take pictures. You like to pair. You humbling me, bro. You're humbling me because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like a lot of parallels, right? But now you're like, but bro, you got to appreciate it for what it is. Somebody thought about that. That's somebody's creative, process. So even if there's 100 parallels, that's 100 different thoughts, bro. Yeah, red, green, blue. It may be simple to you, but that's big to some of us. You know what I mean? Some of us like that. Those colors bring joy and make us feel good and brighten up our lives or our moments. Bro, you just open up my eyes and made me appreciate stuff that sometimes I may stick my nose up to. Let me not, me put it in the way I would put it to somebody else and not try and sugarcoat and say, you know what I'm saying, anything else. So thank you for that, bro. For real, for real.
You're welcome. You know what I mean? What if every single Spreewell card was just Fleer and it was just white on a white background?
Dang, nobody ever put it like, nobody just slapped it in my face like that before, bro. That's real. Like, I've always said, what if everybody was the same? I never thought about it. What if every card was the same? Here I am complaining about multiple this and multiple that. All right, bro, let's give you what you want for however long. You really gonna like that too? Shut up, Peter. Deal with it. Appreciate it. Not even just appreciate it. Or not, and don't have to judge it or put it down just because it's not my mix. You know what I'm saying? It makes a whole lot of other people feel good. And I see that in the hobby, but I've never heard it put into words the way you put it into words. You put it into words that make me feel like I should go into hiding, but I'm not. I could admit, you know what I'm saying?
No, we need
when
you.
I'm wrong.
You the pillar, man.
Yeah.
You the pillar of the community, man. We need you. You hip
There's
hop
several
hobby
pillars.
history, man.
That's facts, but there's several pillars. Hobby history is facts. You know what I mean? I'll be humble when it's time to be humble, and then I'll take that when it's time to. Hobby history is facts, but there's several pillars though. One pillar is not gonna hold up a building. RPS may be one pillar or three of the pillars, but bro, you a pillar too, bro. That's why it's important for me to bring you on here, for us to bring you on here, and everybody that we appreciate in aspects of life, bro. Like, bro, I used to watch you when you was coaching those kids. And I would see how they would start off, bro, and they couldn't even dribble. And then you got them now sidestepping without traveling, going through two ball, like the progression. And it's a slow progression, but slow motion better than no motion. Because by the end of the year, they can make any team they go out and play for and hold that a coach is going to play them because they're coachable and they can learn. And they started off not even, bro, the kids, like some of the kids, a lot of the kids that you start off with, is it their first time playing basketball?
For a lot of them, it was. I only had a group, two groups of brothers that had already played before. Most of them were only conditioned in soccer. So I was able to breed them the team dynamic because some of them were in soccer already. And some of them had other practices after my practice in different sports. So I was able to help propel them in their other sports by giving them cross-training activities. So the cross-training activities in basketball, different jumping exercises, different breathing techniques, different passes and stuff like that, it helped them be able to develop not only in basketball, but have that team dynamic in full to be able to control themselves and handle the other sports as well as, the outside world. That's what we try to, get them to believe, is that you can be something greater outside of the sports, but this can help you as a community.
Absolutely. And that's that whole camaraderie and that team that comes, especially when you have a right coach and the right leaders on your team, that comes with being on the team. For sure. But man, thank you for the work you give to those kids, man. Like, if y'all don't know, Franceyez can hoop. It's not just your average Joe out here training kids. He could probably be charging them like hundreds of dollars an hour, based on how much income they come from and based on what his value, like literally his skill set. When shout out Culture Cardboard Collision, Prism God and the whole squad out that way, Prism Goddess, Wiz, get it flipping. But they got a raw card show out in Atlanta. Prism God got this card show out in Atlanta, and he's history too. He another brother in the hobby, and he's the most humblest. You know what I'm saying? He's for the people. You feel me? He's for any and everybody. He for all. Like we all like to be, but he walked that. He modeled that. You feel me? Excuse me. He has a card show. I believe this is going to be his second time throwing it. I believe he had one last year, and he's throwing it again. And he's going to have a 3-on-3 tournament at that. He's going to have a half court in the middle of a card show, bro. Tell me how raw that is, bro.
Now that sounds like something unique right there.
Right.
To have a hoop tournament at a card show, that would be
a hoop tournament at a card show.
I might have to call old Hibachi out, man. Hibachi gonna have to come out.
Hey. See, they don't know about that. See, they don't know about that. They don't know. See, if Franceyez and I was on the same team playing, good night. Like, it just wasn't fair. It wasn't fair because Franceyez gonna dunk on you. He gonna pull every move. Any Kobe move that you've seen done, Franceyez. I'm telling y'all, like, the man is he studies everything to perfection and he executes. The man can hoop. And when we used to be on the court hooping, getting our weekend warrior days on, going to them open gyms and doing that thing, it was just it just wasn't fair if we was on the same team, because inside out, you know what I'm saying? They don't know about the Hibachi nickname. They don't know about that, bro. They don't know about that. I don't know if they're ready for that. That's gonna be too much. But I'm retired though. I wouldn't play. What I would do is I would make sure I bring you out there though. You know what I'm saying? So even if RPS can't get out to this one, we're trying to get out to this next one. But for the next one, so we could get you out there, because you a collector, you feel me? You in the hobby and you hoop, you got to be on the RPS 3-on-3 team. I want to coach. I don't want to play. I want to coach. I'm retired because I know if I go out there and play, then something's gonna happen to these knees. I done put in my time already, bro. Like, yeah, so, hey, sometimes standing up, I tear an ACL or an MCL or something like that. It's bad. It's real bad. And I'm active too, but It's just certain, the way these knees work playing on concrete. Bro, how do you do it? Because we grew up playing on nothing but concrete. You know what they say when you with your younger, it catches up to you. That's one of the things that caught up to me. Like even when I was playing in JUCO, bro, I had horrible knees. I was dunking in high school and right out of high school at 5'9", 5'10". Once you do air alert for two summers, you boing, boing. But then, bro, on that concrete, how do you do it? How do you keep your bounce and what is your diet like, bro? Tell us a little bit about your physical diet and then your mental diet, bro.
Well, I can start off with the mental diet. The mental
Yeah,
diet kind of just basically consists of trying to, condition the mind to be prepared for, the everyday struggles that you have to go through as being a black man, for one.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And then, it's, the more easier things, dealing with family, studying the news, what's going on, world news, stuff like that, world news, local news, trying to, just really get more of a broader understanding of what's happening around me.
right,
That kind of keeps me conditioned, and then study self. You know what I mean? And it's a lot about preserving self in a lot of ways. Like, I don't abuse myself in any kind of way, stuff like that. So I try to, keep as spiritually grounded, and as balanced as possible. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And just, let things just center me and ground me. And I'm very humble. So, you know, studying different traditions and, ancient remedies and stuff like that, and putting a lot of turmeric in my foods, you
yeah,
know. So, yeah. And my diet, it isn't, super, health conscious or totally vegan or nothing like that. It's, I pretty much eat any and everything. But I take days of fasting every single week. I have 1 or 2 days where I fast,
mm,
just so I can get a nice, good flush. So my kidneys are clean, my mind is clean, and I feel better. I feel more restored by the end of the week.
mm,
That kind of keeps me a balance. When I don't do that, I see myself a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more anxious, especially in the quarantine level. You know what I
right,
mean? So I try to, have those days of fasting, at least once or twice a week to keep me, where I need to be. I feel better, every single day. My skin is clean and clear and just different things. You know what I mean? Just like I'm saying, that turmeric, apple cider vinegar. You know what I mean? I drink apple cider vinegar every couple of
yeah,
days. You know, I infuse warm milk with peppermint,
okay.
and I drink that. I don't know if it does anything for other people, but for me, it I can breathe really good after the peppermint. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Mm.
some of the things that I do. I don't want to go into everything, but that's some of the stuff that I do.
Yeah, no, but that's important to know your body and what works for you. You know what I mean? You know what works for you, in order for you to be your best self and bring your best self, you know what I mean, and be a healthy mind, body, and soul. So that's important, bro. Thank you for sharing that. And everybody, that might not be their exact remedy. Your remedy might not be their exact remedy or recipe. You know what I mean? They might take a little bit more, a little bit less. It might be something different, but it's important to know your body and know, definitely what helps you mentally, physically, spiritually, in any other way that you need, for sure, for sure. My guy Pepino, man, he's always in here. We do these things off the top rope, like Naka would say. We do it spontaneous. Luckily, YouTube, it goes straight to YouTube whenever I post it early to let people know. But Pepino always in here. He commented saying a regular rainbow has 7 colors. The hobby's rainbow has like 100 different waves. That's raw though. The 7 colors, a regular rainbow. I said we were just talking about the number 7. I thought that's dope that the 7 came up, and the hobbies rainbow has like 100 different ways. But you made me appreciate each ripple in the wave now. You know what I'm saying? If you think about if it has 100 waves and there's thousands of ripples, tens of thousands of ripples, so I'm gonna start appreciating it for more and asking more questions. I always ask the question who. I used to ask the same questions, like who took that picture, not because I wanted to be a photographer, just because I wanted to know, like, hey, I wonder who took that picture. Because when you're watching a game, there's a whole bunch of people sitting on the sideline, like which one of y'all are the ones taking the picture for the cards.
For
You
real.
know what I mean? Or are you doing it for multiple things? Or like, what is it? Like, I want to talk to you. Like, what is that like? You know what I mean? Have you ever had a job in photography? You mentioned, have you had a job in photography and film before? What's that like?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's phenomenal. It's a great job to have. I've been a videographer for music videos. I've done my own music videos. I've also been
Oh,
video coordinator. At the spot that I helped co-fund, and at the Green Youth Media Arts Center, which is now Youth Hub Oakland,
yeah.
United Roots. I was a video coordinator there, the first video coordinator there. And I still do photography off and on. I really haven't done much since the Warriors won the championship, 3 times, because I was out there on my bike, filming and
Yeah.
taking photos all through the whole parade. So I kind of, been a little bit through since then. But I really like to take pictures of celebrations and stuff like that. Especially when we're winning, when we're up. I got a couple of good photos of Oracle, some photos of Al Addles and stuff like that. And I got hundreds of photos of Steph Curry that I was able to take him and the wife and his brother on the float and all of that stuff. And I got some photos of you when you was at North Texas, when I was sitting in the bleachers at some of them games. I
Yeah.
got some photos from you on my old terabyte somewhere. And I was always, doing photography and album covers and all of that stuff. So that all, got implemented and put into this trade of AMG.
That's dope. We definitely gonna have to tap into you with a video. We just started making a lot more visuals for our music that we've been putting out, bro. For the hobby music we've been putting out, and but we've been doing everything, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like we've been doing everything either on the phone or on a camera. When people look at the RPS, sometimes like people ask me, the questions they ask, they think that we have a big studio, and they think, yeah, like we have big when they see the camera crew that we doing big things and we pay for, like, man, we working with a small budget of next to nothing. You know what I mean? With a lot. Like we started with a flip. We really made it flip. We started with $10 and we said, nah, we're gonna make this $10 flip to 20, so then we could keep on investing in ourselves and do more and more and more. But this same microphone, this same stand is where we made 90% of our music. You know what I'm saying? We made the last video that I'm actually editing a video right now. I'll have it done by tonight. I'm about to release that thing tonight. We filmed a video the other day, but we did it on the phone, and it wasn't even the new iPhone 13. They told me this phone right here was the best one with the cameras, and you know how iPhone lie to you every year. And now they got a 13, and you can take cinematic. It's like a real movies and stuff. And just know. So what's the 14 gonna do then?
Yeah, if you can zoom in from the nosebleeds all the way to the front of the crowd and have a perfect HD cropped image and video, who knows where it's gonna go from then? But
Bruh.
hey, I'm old school. I like it old school. I like dealing with the algorithms, from the old. Even though that's what
Yeah.
they dealing with now, but that's how we started. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, say that.
you know,
Say that.
it's just
For
like it's
real.
retro all over again. So what's
Hey,
new is old, for us.
all over again, bruh. All right, bro. I had a question for you because because it was one of the first things I said, and excuse me, I gotta admit I don't know what this is, and I saw it on your page, and I hear a lot of people say it, but I want to know what the definition is from you. What is a hype beast? I don't know what a hype beast is. I'm not even going front. Like I can't even like. What is a hype beast in your words?
Someone that collects and understands what it is that they're collecting, um,
Oh,
and improves their collection.
oh, I identify as a hype beast then.
Yeah.
Like I never knew what it was, and I never asked any but one. So I wanted to ask you because it was on your page. So I want to get your definition of it. I'm pretty sure other people may, I heard people speak up about it, heard people speak down about it, but I never spoke anything about it because I didn't know what it was. But here, you know what I mean? And I never asked anybody, so I didn't feel like I had the right to speak up or down about it. I didn't know what it was. So I wanted to
Yeah,
ask you
as
what
well.
like
Yeah,
that. I
as well as as well as
oh,
being excited about your material, whatever
oh,
it may be. And that's where the
oh,
hype comes from. And the beast is just knowing about it. You know what I mean? Being ready to talk about it anytime. You are that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fully a hype beast on many levels. Now that I know that, okay, yeah, that might have to go on my bio or my resume or something now, bro. I'm fully a hype beast on many levels. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Man. All right, so Franceyez, what's next for you, bro? Where can people find you if they want to find you, reach out to you, bro, follow you, connect with you? Where can they link with you, brother?
They can link with me on any of the social medians, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, etc. You can just Google franchise. It's there. I think it might show the name somewhere. If it does, those letters Franceyez. Just Google that. Everything will come up. Instagram, AMG Images, or AMG7 Clothing, and that'll forward you to what I'm doing more immediately. And outside of that, I'm around. I'm at the Oakland Peace Center 5 days a week. Facilities coordinator there, so just making sure that the building's in good standing and making sure that all of our partners are welcome and have successful programs and activities going on every single day. I'm also in the garden. We have a garden work day coming up January 22nd at
A
the Oakland
volunteer
Peace
day,
Center.
right?
Yep, yep,
Can
and
you
that's
tell people
also our
about that?
anniversary.
Okay.
So we're on our 10-year anniversary at the facility there. So yeah, just check me out, come by, support, or check out what's going on, on social media.
Pepino man said the next iPhone gonna take X-rays. Hey, it probably will. Hey, that's real. See, you already know. I wasn't even thinking that. For real, for real. Oh, I got a question for you. There's a question I have to ask you too, bro, because I want to know where your mind at. What would you tell the 18-year-old Franceyez today?
You can't guard me.
That's what you tell everybody. That's what you tell everybody.
Yeah, but honestly, um just to look forward to life and what it offers you, enjoy the beautiful splendors that the world can provide. And just be that guiding light for people. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be discouraged to be a strong black man. Don't be afraid to be courageous. Don't be afraid to be somebody. That's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? And just keep doing what you're doing and stay moving forward. You know, yeah, and gather around like-minded people and you know just be the best you can be. Mamba mentality every day. Be better than the last one.
Man, thank you, bro. Thank you for real. That was important. It was important having you on too. And everything happened for a reason. Today, I walked on a school campus and literally 7, 8 different kids from all different classrooms came up to me, Coach. We saw the show on YouTube. We saw the show on YouTube. Yeah, it's 2 hours long. Yeah, and some of them's an hour long. Some of it's this long. Like, yo, watch that. Yeah. When's the next one? 7 o'clock tonight, right? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, man, that's raw. I got Franceyez on too, man. They gonna learn some game today. They gonna see a whole bunch of different things that's cool and what they can, you know what I mean? I just like to show them. I like to show the kids that I practice what I preach. You know what I mean? That the people that I appreciate and I admire do the things that they really do. Like I tell stories about you, even though I may not talk to you every day, every week, every month. I tell stories about you at least. I ain't gonna cap at least once a month. I ain't gonna say like it's every day. At least 1 month. Man, Franceyez. Man, let me show you this. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go to my IG and show, man, look what my partner doing though. Look at my brand. Look, whoa. I'm saying y'all don't gotta be on that. Y'all can be on there. You know what I'm saying? Get to I'm lucky I have that community of people who are doing things like that that I can highlight or modeling those things. You know what I mean? So it makes me look good. So I appreciate you, brother, for taking the time on being here, sharing a little bit. And we're gonna run this back again, bro. And we run it back. We're gonna do something maybe with our cards or something like that, something special for the people, something educational or something. You got some cards next to you?
Oh,
What
you
you
know
got
that.
next to
I
you?
just gotta
What
just
you
do
got
this
next to
just
you?
just for the flex. Just for the
What you
flex,
got?
I'm gonna do this just for you.
All right, what you got? Wait a second. Wait a second. No. I don't know if the people know who that is. That's Rep Hamiltops, boy.
But I'm talking
Greater
about
Hollywood.
he there though.
So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I care people. All right, so I'm gonna say it. That's history. That's those cards should be worth more than they are today, and one day they will be. I don't care about anything else. The man created hobby music. We have people collecting cards of rappers and artists and stuff that rap and sing about things that lies they ain't never lived before. And Rip Hamiltop's Javid Best created a lane where you can rap about cards. And everybody in the hobby lives that life. So whether it's a year, 10 years, 100 years from now, Rip Hamiltops is going to go down. He's going to go down. That's history. He played the sport, right? He dominated when he played too. He got a line on the new album. My man say, game worn patch right before the game. If I had a better helmet, I'd be Hall of Fame. What? Facts. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. We talked about numbers, right? God, like, okay, we talked about numbers. So then the man went and ran in the Olympics in the same
Man
heat as
ran a
Usain Bolt.
4.4.
Come on. Can we put some respect on the man's name one time? I know. All right. And then now the man created hobby music. And he just didn't create hobby music. Like it's not just a parody and a joke here and there. You know what I mean? The man, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not in the fashion that we're doing it now, and definitely wouldn't be as many people doing it now. So those cards, yeah, for sure. Like I can't vouch for anybody else, but that's an investment I make every single day in RPS and Rip Hamiltops. You know what I mean? And in our family. So for sure. You already know. Franceyez is family. If y'all don't know, Franceyez like one of the cousins. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Hey man, Joe always tapping in too. Thank you, Joe. I know you got a busy life yourself. Joe always tapping in. Joe said children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. Oh, James Baldwin. Whew.
True.
That's a humbling bar right there. You know what? So can I tell a story? Can I tell a story real quick? Because Joe, I was humbled today by two sixth grade boys. I was wrong today. I've been an educator for 20 years, 20 plus years. All right, in some shape, form, or fashion. I'm currently the dean of students at a K through 8, and two sixth grade boys had to humble me. And it actually, so this is what happened. First of all, these are two sixth grade boys that you can trust. You know what I mean? You can trust them. Like they gave me no reason to not trust them. So I was wrong when I woke up this morning and chose to be whatever it is I chose to be. Okay? Because these two gentlemen gave me no reason to not say, bruh, stop and think and breathe and ask them a question before directing them on where you think or what you think is going on. But these two young boys respect me so much that they just sat there and said, yes, sir. Hear me say, look, y'all, I need y'all to be here. Y'all here too much. I need y'all to get to class. Y'all, there's going to be a football team. There's going to be this. I need y'all here. Mind you, these boys were allowed. They already had permission to be out of class by several different teachers. They were where they were supposed to be. I wasn't minding my business. You know what I mean? But in the wake of me doing my job, they let me do my job, bro. I'm walking off a school campus. They stopped me. Hey, coach, can I holler at you real quick? You got some time? Like real respectful. He looked like he was having a bad day. Like I'm from the time I started talking to them, I made their day bad. You know what I mean? He's like, man, coach, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, what's up? Man, coach, I just wanted to tell you my side. And then right there, bro, I said, fudge, I messed up. Like, and then he told me exactly his side. And I was like, man, I had to let him know I was wrong. I'm sorry. I let them know why I felt the way I felt and what was going on, but that didn't mean nothing. That wasn't an excuse. But they deserved that. And I looked them right in their eyes and I said, I'm sorry, bro. I was wrong. Y'all were exactly where you're supposed to be. I probably confused the heck out of y'all. Y'all were listening to them. Y'all were listening to teachers. And then here come the dean of students. It was so bad one time when I had told them to go back to class that one of the teachers that they were with just left. But she had already told them it was okay to be with them. If I would have known that, I'm never going to overturn anything the teachers say. I'm not that one kind of admin people. No, I don't even feel like, you know what I mean? I don't even want to be that person. But the teacher said something already, you good. That's a pass. You feel me? You good. But I was wrong, bro, and they humbled me, bro, for real, for real. And I appreciate that they didn't do it in front of any kids. They could have easily humbled me, you know what I mean, and been right and said, no, coach, this is where we're supposed to, this is not, they could have easily done that. But they said, no, you know what? We're going to listen to this old man trip because he always be tripping. And then we're going to see him about something after school. We're going to talk to him after school. So, man, shout out to all the youth that tolerate me and the parents and families that have allowed me to learn and grow from them. As you know what I'm saying? Learning with the youth, we make mistakes. See, they get the best and the worst of us. You know what I mean? As they give us the best and the worst. But we move with love, whether it's hard love, tough love. Sometimes we hold hands. It's holding the hands as a sign of love. You know what I mean? But I felt like that was a time where those two gentlemen needed the tough love, which in a way they did, but not in the manner that I gave it. You know what I mean? So I always like to share the humble stories and when I'm wrong and tell people I was wrong. I had to tell 2 6th grade boys today. And I always tell people I'm sorry. I'm always wrong. But that was one that if I would have went home and not talked to them, bro, and had these 4 days off, bro, you know how much that would have crushed me inside? Like if I would have had to look in the mirror tonight and be like, bruh, you handled that totally wrong, bro. Them dudes always, you know, they've never disrespected you, anybody else. They always have, even if they BSing, it's legitimate. Like 75% of it is legitimate. You know what I mean? Like I would have, because I always look in the mirror at the end of the night and say, bro, where could you have did better? What could you have done here and there? And that would have been one of them. I'm so happy that they were mature enough and human enough to pull me to the side, literally, you know what I mean? And do that, bro. You know, even as adults don't do that, bro. There are times as an adult, you'll walk by somebody, you feel some type of way and don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? You might live with somebody and you feel some type of your partner, your spouse, and y'all don't say anything. But those guys let me do my job. Like Joe said, they humbled you with grace, which shows they respect you. Growth mindset in all directions. Yeah. Yeah, they humbled me for sure, bro. I definitely owe them a big I should have told them thank you. I don't think I told them thank you. That'll probably be the next step when I see them again, is to say thank you for that and explain to them why. Thank you. But they know I love them. It wasn't like a case of, you know what I'm saying, coach don't love me no more. It was more so they was hurt because they was holding in all that time. I was getting on them in front of all those people. You know what I mean? And they like, you know what, coach, we ain't even gonna do you like you did us, coach. So I owe them an apology, probably a public apology now that I think about it too, or a way to highlight them in public, even if it's not a public apology, a way to give them some praise and flowers in front of the masses when that opportunity presents itself. Hopefully it's here. If they see this, they watch this, they know who it is. They know who they are. My guys always tune in some shape, form, or fashion. So yeah, man. I just had to share that story. Thank you for listening. Thank you everybody for staying tuned in. But I forgot what brought that up. But after you had humbled me 17 different times, and then Joe humbled us with that the James Baldwin bar. You know what I'm saying? I had to come with the humbling story of the day. Maybe I should try and add that to the podcast. Everyone try and drop a humbling story. Man, Franceyez, thanks for your time, brother. Everybody on here, man, thank you for tuning in. Everybody who's tuning in, not live, but tuning in when you have the time, we appreciate you. You will see Franceyez again. Make sure y'all give him a follow on the IGs and things. Man, just like I said, just watching some of the things he does is very inspirational. Makes me hold myself accountable and hold that mirror up to my face in relation to me. I'm not trying to be like him. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing what I need to do for myself and for others around me, because that's what I got to do first, right? And I think that's what I learned from you today, on top of appreciating others and empathy and love, man. Just a whole bunch of love and smiles, bro. So thank you for your time. Is there anybody else, any other shout outs or flowers you want to give before we hop up off of here?
Well, I just want to give shouts out to the whole community. Shouts out to RPS, all the brothers, the cousins, the whole family. Y'all are a wonderful, exciting new wave that I feel is, bringing old heads like me back to the forefront of doing this situation. And, just keep making the music, keep doing what you're doing. And I'm looking to support you in any way possible, brother.
So you gonna come on the hobby track then?
No problem, man. Whatever you want, man.
Oh,
Ever. I'm there.
you
I'm
said
there.
with
No
the
problem.
quickness too. It's a done deal then. Franchise, it's a done deal. It's because that's the next step. We want this to be a genre, and we can't do that alone. We literally need a lot of people to make some music. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to pressure it, but if you saying, yeah, you're gonna come hop on the track, that's the hey man, that's gonna help towards a lot of music, man. So let's really push it then, man. Let's get it going. And you can drop whatever bars you want on there too. Is there anything about what you write? Any one of your hobbies, man. It's hobby music, man. And that's exactly what it is. Hey, peace, blessings, everybody out there. Joe Pepino, everybody who tapped in. We love y'all. Thank y'all. See y'all again Monday. Monday. And it's gonna be a different setting too. I'm actually redoing this whole thing this weekend, getting the new doors, whole bunch of stuff. I'll probably be in my daughter room for a while with this podcast thing, but next time we in here, it should be a better scenic setup. You know what I'm saying? It should look better for the aesthetics and the optics and things like that. Franceyez, thanks for your time, brother. Appreciate you, bro. I'll tap in with you, man. And likewise, if you need anything, man, tap in for sure, for sure.
RPS gear. I need RPS gear.
Got you. Man, we just got some stuff too. We were planning to go to Vegas. They shut it down though. They postponed it due to health concerns or whatnot. So we are sitting on some stuff. I got to make sure, man, for real. I'm bringing the guest on, and y'all giving y'all time. We got to give y'all something, right? Like y'all gave y'all time. Y'all could have gave anything else. Y'all definitely y'all time is worth way more than any article of clothing, the dollar amount on that. For that time y'all gave us, and we reached out to y'all and asked y'all for that time. That's real, bro. So you just told me something else, and all of our guests in some shape, form, or fashion got to get some type of RPS pack from us as a way of as a small token of appreciation. You absolutely right, bro. Thank you for that. I'm writing that down, and then I'm writing it down, and guess what? Guess what?
What happened?
Anytime we send a thank you pack, it's called a RPS franchise pack.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I'm for that.
That's the franchise pack right there. Instead of thank you, we're going to call that friend. So everybody's a part of the franchise. You feel me? Let's get it. All right, brother, man. Many blessings to you and yours, brother. I'll tap in with you, man. People out there, peace. Tap in with y'all.
Peace.